This, I don't know what happened to Dr. Ray. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, now a lot of you have not been able to view my Q&A because of I used a little bit of music, not long, about a minute of it, and sometimes it goes through after a day or so, sometimes it doesn't, so I'm going to do you a favour. It's going to be in low quality. I'm going to record off of a record, and then you can watch the Q&A, even if it isn't low quality, by skipping out that music bit. Okay, so this is for you, and I hope it all is clear. This is the only way I can do it, because I haven't got any movie maker or anything like that. So here we go, enjoy.
Q&A sessions, my
Here we
goodness. Let's have a look again, using the slightly broken and prized open phone, searching for memory cards that have magically disappeared. Okay, so, okay, we'll start with this one, I suppose. Okay, from Rachel S. What is the worst thing that has happened to you in your life and you have gotten through it? Probably getting bankrupt, I guess, was probably the worst thing that happened to me. It was a good 15 years ago now. I had lots of credit cards and loans. I had a really good stable job as a bus driver at the time, and it just all went ahead. Plus I was with someone at the time who was a bit money hungry. Blonde, pretty, big boobies, and yeah, high maintenance. So along with the high maintenance car I had at the time too. There you go. Okay, so next question from Mary Lavesia. Sorry if I bodged up your name. Why does hate you so much? Ha ha ha. Why does hate me so much? Well, because considering he's a fictional character, he could say an alter ego of myself in a weird, fucked up way. Yeah, he doesn't like me because he thinks that I'm going to educate people on what is real in terms of what is fake in the paranormal world, which is what I do. I certainly used to explain which channels are fake and which ones are real, and yeah, he doesn't like that. I mean, he's after souls, isn't he, to take back to his boss Zozo, isn't he? That's the story behind it. But yeah, obviously it's not real, but dearing me. Okay, so let's look for another question. Most scariest paranormal encounter, the minority YouTube FTG unit, or featuring G unit, I suppose I was meant to say. Tricky, because I haven't really had an account of it as really scared me before. I suppose the one that's made me jump the most was the vodka bottle. We had an empty vodka bottle in the kitchen. This is about the time when we had Charlie as resident, and yeah, basically it flew from one side of the room to the other and smashed, and it made a hell of a fucking noise, and yeah, it certainly made me jump, and that sort of made me realise that we are dealing with the unknown. We don't know what power they've got. You know, yeah, kind of fucking scary when you think of it like that. I mean, oof, great. Anyway, so that's that question. What's next? From Speed Armor. What are some of your favourite meals and maybe some recipes? Boiled egg. Love boiled egg, runny boiled egg with asparagus. There you go. Okay. From Monica. Is where's the questions? Huff's bastard child or Huff's lover? I can't remember which it is, and if is his lover, has Huff ever made a copper wire cock ring attached to a lamp with lights that he has tried to get to wear? You gotta remember, actually doesn't really like Huff, but he likes the fact that Huff can trick people, and therefore able to get him some souls, so the story goes. But no, he's not actually related at all. He's not his lover. He just wants to use Huff, and he would. I can't remember. What did I say he was? He obviously it's sort of imagination, not real. If you don't want to talk about your new to this Firtless, go onto my playlist. You'll see a playlist called Another Comedy. Look onto and he's like a demon that hangs around here and hates my guts, you know, and hates and likes Huff because he can. Yeah. So yeah, look on the playlist on my channel for and have a watch if you have no idea who the fuck this is. Yeah, something to do with Charlie, the ex-resident, was here. A test tube and Mortis the wizard and something or other. He was created somehow. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous story and notion that I put out there to try and accommodate this sort of alter ego or fictional character. But yeah, okay. So next question, preferably not about hopefully. Looking. Some people put comments while I ask them just for questions. What exactly is going on with you and the other paranormal people? I can only get bits and pieces of info. What is all the drama I keep hearing about? That's from Bone Hunter. Wow, Duty. it's very complicated. Cut a long story short, original, I can't say for too much because I don't really know the full ins and outs of it, and this is gone now really, so really I shouldn't really comment on it because people have just moved on. Put it this way, I used to out frauds and stuff, like Half Paranormal. I'm not going to say other names because because it can drive up more problems, and people who say they're in places when they're not in places, and fish wire and all the rest of it. I used to do all that with my channel, and I've still got quite a lot of those videos up, but eventually of that lot, I suppose, sort of got together and got with me, and then they just caused a load of trouble, and there are lots of crossed wires and ethics in terms of profiles with no identity behind them. Yeah, it just went really, really bad and wrong, and now from what I can gather, to be honest with you, I think we've missed something. We could have had Death Seekers, not just me, Paranormal X, Proven Demons, and Jane was a perfect team, and I think it's being spoiled by other people, not themselves, because obviously if you feel that someone you're not going to get on with because you think their ethics are wrong or something, which is what they felt about me, fair enough, but I think other people have spoiled Death Seekers personally. It could have been really interesting, but that's just my own opinion. I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's been and gone, Anyway, next question. What does Firtless mean? That is from Quintus26. Well, Firtless, I suppose a lot of you want to know that. A lot of you do know, obviously. Firtless, basically, it come from a old computer game show in the 90s called Bad Influence. So they used to, talk about the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive and Mega CD and the PlayStation and whatnot. And there was a guy on there called Namrud who used to do cheats, and he always addressed the viewers as, hello Firtless, and he'd say, for instance, he'd give you a cheat for Sonic the Hedgehog, up, down, left, right, A, start, remember that, to give you a level select, and then there'd be a real hedgehog there, and he'd pull out this blue paint, hold still Firtless, as he goes to paint the hedgehog. Obviously no hedgehogs were hurt in the making of it. So yeah, I nabbed it from that. See, I've got no imagination really. So what Firtless means is viewer, or subscriber I suppose you could say. A Firtlet is a YouTuber, and a slimy Firtless is a troll, dolt, or someone who's just there to be a fucking idiot really. So yeah, slimy Firtless. There you go, that answers your question on what one is. Okay, so let's look for another question. I've got to scroll through the comments as opposed to questions. I only put questions on this video, people put comments, bless them. No, I don't want to report for comment, I want to just delete it. Nearly there. Sorry, Firtless. We'll get there in the end. Okay, so, anything now. Cherry Kinney asked me a question, and I said you could ask anything. She says, anything? No. Do you think the spirits you talk to follow you home? I'd be concerned about the family facing harmful spirits. Okay, well, I don't know. Tricky, because when you use the spirit box, I think the theory is that, yes, spirits that are immediately here next to you or whatever, like, say, if Charlie was here right now, could use the box, but I think it also can call out to further realms, like the abyss and stuff. Again, it's all theory, take what you want from it. It's just my own take on it. And so you could obviously speak to or call out entities that are further away. In terms of, I think you're talking about if I went to a haunted place, like I went up to Railway Hill with Paranormal X, and we got some really good results. I did wonder if, because there was a spirit there, I can't remember her name now, but which was nothing to do with the battle, but she was a witch, and she was hung apparently, or so Spirit Box says and stuff, and other validating methods of communication verified that she allegedly was a witch and hung, and she wasn't a witch at all. Would she have followed me back? I don't know. I suppose spirits, you could say, are like people. They have free will, and if they can or not, follow you back, depends. So yeah, if you say you have no right to follow me home, don't follow me, or you must go back now. Do they listen? I don't know. Yeah, it's something that, like with anything you do, is risk. That is the risk. Maybe you can get a spirit that follows you home or whatnot. But there you go. Scotty Fox, if it was possible to smash a custard pie to the face of any number of people, who would you choose? Me, myself, I'd like Nick Groff to get some, of course. Mr. Sneeze stuff, he gets pie too. Yeah, you probably put it on the head. Yeah, I like to smash a custard pie to Steve Huff, because he's such a fucking faker. It's unbelievable in terms of what he sells. I mean, all he does is, we know this, I call him a guitar flipper now. Like people who flip cars, well, Huff flips guitar amps. He takes a guitar amp, puts some spray paint on it, and then sells it for masses and amounts of money. If you really want to go down that route of having reverb, which just muddies the communication in my mind, unless you use it ever so slightly. You may as well buy the guitar amp and the pedal yourself, don't go Mr. Huff, because you're going to be paying him a lot of money for something that it really is not worth anywhere near the amount. So he's not a box builder. I suppose you couldn't even call him an assembler, because all he does is clip 2 wires together, puts some spray paint and a copper wire on it. So, you know, and yeah, obviously Nick Groff too, because, well, it's just a business decision, isn't it, what they've got together, you know, save each other's career, I suppose. There you go. Yeah, I'd be by it. And, of course, somebody else I'd like to smash a custard pie into, because he's a freaking idiot. I'm not going to say the name, because all it will do is just, you know, create more attention on their end. And no, it's not Parrot or not normal. Someone else close to that, but not. And, yeah, I think I know who the identity of that person is, and oh dear. Yeah, I know who you are now, but it's okay. We'll wait for the absolute concrete proof on that. But, you know, but then again, you're paying attention. I've got no attention to give, really. I have 2 questions, says Paranormal Girl Haunted Diary. What was your first ever experience? Tricky, I'll tell you why tricky. And does your little girl say anything in regards to paranormal, like there's a man looking at you and stuff like that? Yeah, kind of. The first question, my first experience, well, technically I didn't really know it was an experience. Ages ago, when I was about, like, what, between the ages of 8 to... Oh, it's rain. What the fuck was that? It sounded like sand or something going on the window. Yes, that's why I haven't been to the cemetery, because we had lots of rain and it's windy. Not so windy now, but it's raining, so I haven't been to the cemetery yet. But I'll go there when it starts raining, I promise you. Yeah, but my first experience was actually from years ago. I didn't really realise this up until recently, when we had Talking to the Dead, North Nottingham Paranormal on a live stream with Nobody Believes in Paranormal on Monday, which is on tonight, by the way, at 7 o'clock. I'll be there if you're there. We have paranormal guests, but he reminded me of something. I used to have a crappy Alba system. I don't know who Alba is. They make really cheap products, awful products, and I had an all-in-one stereo, you know, with a record player, a CD player, and a radio, and a tape-to-tape thing for, I think it cost about 70 quid back then, which was, yeah, it was an awful freaking thing. I used to record off the radio or do tape-to-tape songs that I wanted, right? Well, quite a lot of the time, I'd hear voices on these tapes, on these recordings, and sometimes even my name was said there. Now, at the time, I didn't really realise what that was. Well, they're EVPs, aren't they? So I had my name on there, all sorts. I haven't got these tapes anymore. I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was just pissed that my pirated copy of whatever song it was I wanted had been ruined by his fucking voices over the top. I was picking up EVPs. It might be a cheap recorder and very hissy, but it was obviously picking up EVPs. Kind of weird. And also that's when my gran passed away as well at that time, so I don't know, a woman's voice on there, but I didn't really, you know, take note of that up until very recently when he was talking about getting voices on tape, and I thought, oh shit. Yeah, regarding my girl and my daughter and paranormal experiences, well, she knows about the spirits and stuff, and she's you know, she's not scared of it, doesn't bother her or anything. If anything, it's like she's got inside information. But the boy, who's not really a boy, he's an adult now, he's like 19, 20 coming up to now, he was one of the first people to be affected by Charlie in his house. Him and his friend were in his bedroom and they're playing whatever, and then they both come downstairs crying their eyes out, saying, "Mummy, Mummy, there's a man in my room." And they're proper terrified by us. And my wife's like, "What? There's no way anyone can get into that room unless they come through the front door." We'd see them, obviously. What they do, climb up the back and, yeah. So she goes upstairs to investigate, and all of the battery-operated toys were going on one. They weren't just going on one, they were moving quicker than they should, you know. So if something was meant to spin, it was spinning like a lot quicker and stuff. And she was like, "Well, maybe all the batteries are running out," and you know, a surge of energy. And but that was like the first entrance to weird shit going on. But I mean, she'd had at the time, this was before my time, about a year or two, she had at the time apparently drawers slamming and the kettle being randomly turned on, but nothing. That was the first one to go, hang on a minute, there's something really weird and fucked up going on here. So yeah. Okay, next question. Hi Order, I was wondering what your thoughts are on 30 East Drive and the Pontefract Monk. I personally think that it was once haunted, but who may have crossed over with the help of a medium spiritualist. Unfortunately, it has now become somewhat of a cash cow. But that's just my views. What's yours? Totally understand if you can't answer out of diplomacy. Before I try, really appreciate your channel. That's brilliant. Many thanks, Mandy. That's from Amanda Lilly. Now, I haven't been there yet, so I can't say in terms of if anything's there or not, or if I experienced anything, but yeah, this is what we were worried about with our house. We were going to be on 12th Hour and have an episode on this, but we, at the last minute, not bothered because we were worried about either A, being laughed at and called ridiculous by stupid people who have no idea what the fuck's what because they don't live here, and let me assure you, we have many guests here who also experienced the same stuff at the time, but also because we didn't want to become a tourist attraction, you know, and it's the same thing with this 30 Easter Road, lots of things going on there now. With me and the spirit we had here, after about a decade or so, or the last year up until that decade, it started fading out. We didn't get all the weird stuff going on, and, you know, but things do happen here. Like in 2015, I was fucking had Christmas carols sung at me. Well, it was Silent Night at midnight. On Christmas Eve stroke day, if that makes sense, you know. So we do get weird stuff open air speaking at, but it's not very common at all. And obviously I've had the door shut on me, which I caught on video, that's kind of good. Which is one of the rules, he wasn't allowed to shut doors on people or shut up in a mirror if he was to reside where we were. But yeah, my point is it faded out. You know, it just, you know, these things sort of fade out. And same with that, the other one, the Enfield case, you know, the two girls and the poltergeist that was there, it just faded out after a while, you know. So it might be the same thing with 30 East Drive, you know, the things that happened there probably faded out and nothing happens now, or not. Don't know, let me know. If you've been there recently and have got some cool evidence to show, let me know. But yeah, I do believe these things do fade out and move on for whatever reason, I don't know what that is, but you know. Or you might have places that don't. Look at where I was just talking about Paranormal X going up to Ramway Hill with Battle of Runners Cavaliers. There's still shitloads of activity there. I only went there not you know, a couple of months ago or whatever, and we caught really good stuff, you know. Okay, let's carry on. Have you ever caught EVPs on a digital recorder without using a spirit box? And what is your favourite ghost box hack to use? No, I haven't actually well, yeah, I have caught EVPs before. I was just explaining this on tape on my Alba system, but I didn't realise what they were at the time up until literally, you know, about a couple of weeks ago. I thought, hang on a minute. But no, I've never actually really tried to use a digital recorder yet. The main reason being is because I've got kids in this house, and we're quite a loud family, and the house is also bolted onto next door as well, who make noise, you know, so I feel like I'd just be getting false positives. But Pugster, as you know, has sent me an interesting digital recorder which I'll be using pretty soon and see if I can capture anything. So yes and no, I guess, for that. Favourite box to use? Well, I got three, I suppose. One would be the typical 587, you know about that one, don't you? The next one would be the SB7 with using magnitude mode. I've got lots of things off of that. If you know what magnitude mode is, put it in the comments and I'll tell you how to access it. Magnitude mode gets rid of all that white noise on your SV7, but it needs to be a Mark II if you want to know. And the third box, which I like also, which also brings some really dark stuff sometimes, is, as I call it, the dipod, because it's shaped like an iPod, to try and make sales at the time in 2001, I think it was, when it came out in 2000. But yeah, so yeah, that's those are my three favourite boxes, and I tend to use those a lot over anything else, really. Although I will be using the COS tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to be using the box I don't usually use. I did use Chloe, which I don't use that often because she's really hard to catch, and the Sanjian last week, but this week I'll be using the COS and any other boxes that I may or may not have. Is anyone in the USA planning and doing a community spirit box? And is there a list I need to get on? Thanks, buddy. Keith Schreffler. Well, no, I don't know about the community ghost box. It's sort of in stasis at the moment because there's not enough demand for it. If you want a community ghost box and you live in the USA, put a post up in Truth Seekers, and if there's enough demand, I'm sure we can get it going again like last time. The interesting thing about last time was a lot of people wanted a spirit box in the USA, and yeah, they got one, alright. They got they got bloody get the words out. They got a box to keep. Isn't that cool? They got one to keep. Here we go. From Rise Brenner. In my opinion, having experienced the paranormal, do you have or had dreams, nightmares involving what you have experienced in any way, reoccurring dreams? If so, can you get a section? No, not really. I've had sleep paralysis via Charlie when it was said in the early days of our relationship when I really worked out. But yeah, my wife wasn't lying when she said she had some weird activity going on. You know, I said, what does it like to be a ghost? And that night I had sleep paralysis with a voice which went one into the other, like in a wind tunnel, saying this is a joke, this is how it goes, this is how it feels to be a ghost or some shit. And I'll never forget it. But no, in terms of reoccurring dreams, no, I haven't. I don't think. Okay. Next question. There's only 2 left, and that's it. Good for you. I was trying to have the first question to be light-hearted. What would a newbie like me need to get started in a paranormal field? I have an EMF meter, SB7 motion detectors, and a temp gauge. These are all basic. Mary Lavessiere again. Well, yeah, that's good enough to start off. You know, great. Yeah, you answered your own question there. Look, I'm no freaking expert, okay, and I haven't really done very many investigations. All of my experiences come from this house, pretty much. And before I moved here, I met my wife. I was a big skeptic. Didn't believe in anything. Didn't believe in God. Didn't believe in heaven. Didn't believe in none of that. Now, all the stuff that I've experienced made me think, well, hang on a minute. You know, I don't believe in any of this stuff. What if there is other things that are true? Does that mean werewolves are true? Does that mean vampires are true or not? You know, but you have to be realistic about these things. You know, I can only tell the things I've had because I've experienced it myself. If that makes sense, firsthand. And you know your own body. You know what you saw and you know what you hear. You know what I mean? Don't let anyone ever tell you not. Okay. If you think, actually, I'm not sure if I experienced that, I don't know if that was a dream or whatever. That's different. But if you were adamant you saw something or heard something, you know, don't let anyone go, oh, well, you don't know what to hear. You know your own body. You know, and that's not really related to the question. Sorry. Last one from Horizon into the unknown. Hi mate, have you ever called for your spirit guide and they've not been there? Example, I was doing sessions and called on my guide but he didn't come through. It was like a week. It was like for a week. I did a session last night and he came through more clear than ever before. Is this normal? Have you experienced this? And one last one if that's okay. Yeah, sure. The deeper I get into with spirits, the more I see them, slight apparitions. From corner of my eye and hearing them, talking now and again about spirit box. I'm not a psychic, so rather confused. This is normal. Tricky question. Like I say, I have no answer. You know, I'm not an expert in this type of thing. But basically, I don't. Well, some people say everyone has a spirit guide. I don't know who my spirit guide is. I've never asked for. Maybe I should ask for my spirit guide. Let me just shut the door because my wife and I have just come back. Just finishing my video. Be a minute, okay? Nearly done. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I never actually called on the spirit guide. Maybe I should find out, you know, what that person is, spirit guide or whatever. So I cannot comment on that bit. And now, on about the more you do this, you're starting to see them and stuff. Well, I haven't really seen them as such, other than taking a photo and then they appear on the screen. You know. My wife has seen a couple of manifestations, one with my her nephew who got hit by a train. She saw his head, and the head was the same height as how he would be, just sort of staring back at her down at the stairs, kind of creepy. They do say, well, people theorise the more you do this, the more you open your third eye or whatever, but, you know, I don't know from my point of view. But then again, I'm hearing open air speak every so often. It's not very often, once a year or every 2 years, we'll get open air speak, and it's clear. But the thing is, if someone was standing next to me, they'd hear it too. It's not like I could just hear it, because it's fucking loud, and I've always said that. That's the thing that gets me of the open air speak that happens in this house, and when it has happened, it's not quiet or you just hear it. It's loud. It's really, really loud. Anyone who's standing next to you would fucking hear that, you know? That's it. That's all the questions you got for me. Thank you very much for putting your questions. Sorry I had to wait for a month for that to come through. Because, well...
there we go, that's it pretty much. There's nothing else there now. I waffle on trying to get Mystic's question, because she was the one who actually wanted me to do this video in the first place, but I can't find her question, so yeah, it's pointless. Anyway, I'm sorry you can watch it. Usually YouTube sorts this stuff out because there's no royalties on it because I'm monetized. The reason being is because I used a minute's worth of music from something. Not going to name the track or what it is, but yeah, so for some odd reason it would allow America but not UK, even though I can watch it myself. It's really weird. But last time this happened, a day later, it was up there, but just in case it's not, I've done this. I mean, it's a bit dodgy, recording of a recording, you know, very low tech, but at least you got to hear it, huh? See? Don't think Order of Magnitude doesn't care for his Firtlesses, because he does. Take care, Firtless, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow probably, or the day after, or whenever. Sorry there's no Dr. Ray, I don't know what's happened. I hope he's alright. He hasn't got back to me, so I really don't know. So don't ask me where Dr. Ray is, because I just don't know. Anyway, take care, Firtless. All the best.